Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. How about we do a little recap and update? We found my BDT residence directory. It was hiding behind the shelf. But anyway, so I've been trying to keep track of all of my main characters in here, and as you can see, Bernice is one of the first ones, which is makes it a little odd as to why it took so long. Willie, her grandson, actually made this family tree at school. There she is up top, Miss Bernice, Grandma. And there's some changes that have gone on in this family, so let's switch it out. Ah, yes, much better. And as you can see, the change out was one of her granddaughters, Gabby, and one of her grandsons, AJ. We grew them up a little bit and changed them out a little bit, but let's get back to what we're here for, Miss Bernice. Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Bernice. Yes, that's right. Today we're choosing the character of Miss Bernice Hill. Age, mind your business. Now, wait a minute. That was unnecessary, Miss Bernice. Birthday, September 9th. Occupation, retired. Status, married. Family, Grant, husband. Dina and Claire, daughters. Alan, son. Marisol, daughter-in-law. Billy, Willie, Gabriella, and AJ, grandchildren. Hobbies, guns and ammo. What? You didn't even fill this out nicely, Miss Bernice. For those of you who follow my storyline on Dalsagram, you will know that Miss Bernice is not the one to play with. Miss Bernice made her debut on my Dalsagram page alongside her husband and two of her grandchildren. According to the post, Miss Bernice made her debut on September 9th, 2019. As most of you know, I decide the doll's birthday based on the day they appear on my Dalsagram page. And since she was debuted on September 9th, that makes her a Virgo. Persuasive, disciplined, decisive, focused, calm, and a natural born leader. And thorough. That sounds about right for Bernice. The whole point of the creation of the Bernice character was due to a photo story challenge. Many years ago, some Dollstagrammers would host these fun challenges. I'm not sure if the dollhouse is still on here, Instagram, but she might have went to YouTube. But she decided to offer this fun challenge to ask people who were subscribers to come up with an idea. All they had to do was for 5 days straight post a photo story consisting of 5 to 10 pictures, and then leave 5 separate posts. And each post had to have a storyline associated with it. It was amazing. I had so much fun doing it, and I miss those days of the old Dollstagram. Here's a picture of the doll house, spelled Dauhl, if you want to go check out the page to see some of the other storylines that she had back in the day. Okay, now that we have laid the foundation for the character of Bernice, let's get into Bernice's storyline. Mrs. Bernice actually is not from the BDT. She comes from another town not too far away, and she moved here for a better life for her husband and her soon-to-be family. Mrs. Bernice was actually known for fixing these glamorous upscale meals for herself and her family and friends and family in the neighborhood. She would go all out for any time to have like a Sunday dinner. It didn't have to be Thanksgiving or Christmas for her to really show out and show forth. She would always host the big feast at the end of Kwanzaa at her house as well, and everybody was welcome to come get something to eat. Even though she spent a majority of her time doting on her family, she always made sure to set time aside for self-care. If you have followed Bernice's story over on Dollsgram, you will note that during a lot of the hashtags that they were offering, Mrs. Bernice would always make like a diaper cake for baby showers and send them to the doll pages. Her family photo turned out to be my very first winter holiday card that I would send out to other Dollstagrammers that were a part of our Christmas holiday card exchange. Bernice met her husband Grant in high school. They are high school sweethearts and have been together ever since. You would often see them attending different events like weddings or christenings. They're very active in the doll community. They even attended my birthday back in 2019. And this here is Grant and Bernice's oldest daughter, Claire. Now, Bernice and Claire go at it all the time because she had Claire when she was rather young, like in her early 20s, and it was almost like they were raising each other. But right now, Bernice is not happy with her daughter because she decided to date her best friend's son. This here is Michael, who happens to be Ethel, who is Bernice's best friend's son. Now, stick a pin in it because I'm going to come back around to this later to explain more. And this here is Ethel, Bernice's best friend and confidant. They have been friends since they were elementary school, which makes it a little complicated when it comes to her daughter Claire dating her son Michael. But we're going to get back to the family. Hold on a second. And this here is Bernice and Grant's other daughter, the middle child, Dina. Now, Dina gives Miss Bernice a headache every day because she's going through a divorce. She got back with her baby daddy. At the time, she had a 6-month-old and a 5-year-old. It was a hot mess. So basically, what happened was it came out that her husband, Chase, was possibly the father of 7 other children. It was a lot. So they ended up going to a paternity court show and they got all the kids together. And it turns out he was the father of a couple of the children, only one's not posted here, but it was Billy, Willie, Jasper, and Brandon. I'll show you more about them later. Throughout the whole TV court show on fatherhood litigations, paternity tests, Bernice was there for her daughter just to make sure everything was okay, but she was always side-eyeing Chase the entire time. And last but not least, Bernice and Grant's youngest child and only son, Alan. Alan has always put his mother through something. As you can see here, she fell out because she just found out on that date that Alan had eloped with his high school sweetheart and she was carrying her final grandchild. Here's Alan with his son, AJ. Alan Jr. Now, of course, the night that she found out about all of this was the same night that Mari saw her now daughter-in-law went into labor. So, of course, all the families went down to the hospital to see the baby, and it just melted Bernice's heart. Okay, let's pivot a bit. Back to Ethel, Bernice's best friend since elementary school. So these two are going hand in hand. Like literally, if you see one, you'll see the other. So it's a little awkward now because Ethel's son, Michael, is deployed in the military, and Bernice's daughter, Claire, decided that she didn't want to wait for him to come back, so she's back to dating. It's a whole mess. And yeah, it's just a mess. Bernice and Ethel started the Matriarch Circle, which is a group that meets once a month for tea, and it's usually the senior women in the BDT. So as you can see here, they get dressed up, they go out to a park, they have tea, and they chat. The Matriarch Circle consists of Ethel and Mabel. There's Bernice, and of course we have Miss Priscilla May, all of the seniors in the BDT. Now, although Bernice and Ethel don't see eye to eye on the relationship between their children, they are cordial and act civil when they attend the Matriarch Circle meetings. In the beginning of Bernice's storyline, she was a dance coach and she offered a before and after care program for kids, also a summer camp where you can do dance or you can do basketball because her husband is a retired basketball player. So the kids had an option of doing one or both. As you can see here, Mrs. Bernice invited all children from all backgrounds to come to her dance studio. There are a lot of the regulars, residents here, and their kids, and all of them call Bernice Grandma. Okay, now that we've laid the foundation, let's get an update on Mrs. Bernice. Mrs. Bernice has now retired from the dance industry. She sold her dance studio and now likes to participate at church more often. And she has joined the hospitality team at church. So she comes in and basically provides hospitality to members who are existing and possible new members. Here she is finding the hymnal for one of the new members to help her sing along with the choir during the church service. Since Bernice is retired now, she likes to do a little walking down Main Street for window shopping. Oh, is that the mayor? Yes, it is the mayor, Mayor Amata. She is always trying to get Mrs. Bernice to join the city council, but Mrs. Bernice enjoys her retirement more. One thing that Mrs. Bernice likes more than her retirement is, remember what I told you, self care. So she makes sure to book herself appointments at the Creative Salon and Spa for services at least twice a month. The only employee at the spa and salon that Bernice refuses to have services done by is Aquanisha. And we all know why. Well, she be telling everybody's business. A nice pedicure and a deep conditioning for her hair is all she really needs. Scratch that. Bernice also said that she needs some shopping in her life. You know, a little retail therapy. Now, retail therapy isn't to purchase things for Mrs. Bernice. She's buying things for her grandbabies, of course. A nice dress from Brianna's boutique for her great. Oh, what's going on with this thing? We put this. You know what? Never mind. Like I was saying, Mrs. Bernice always buys gifts for her grandchildren to encourage good grades and good behavior at school. A nice dress from Brianna's boutique for her oldest, Gabriella, and then toys for the youngest ones, AJ, Willie, and Billy. All that shopping has made Mrs. Bernice tired and a little hungry. So, if self care and retail therapy are not your hobbies because you wrote down guns and ammo, I want to see what this is all about when it comes to your hobbies. Now, of course, Mrs. Bernice said no photography or video recording because she didn't want her business in the streets. However, I went back to Instagram and did some scrolling back in the day, and I found these interesting photos of what looks to be like Mrs. Bernice. Miss Girl, this ain't you, Mrs. Bernice? You know what? I think I'm gonna leave that alone because she does have a license to carry. And, let's just move on. So apparently, Mrs. Bernice has decided to do a family photo with her family with the updated people and the updated older grandchildren. So let's take a look at the photo shoot that they did. Well, of course, Mrs. Bernice and Mr. Grant are the only ones there because all of the children and grandchildren are running late. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's Claire. That's Bernice's and Grant's oldest daughter, and that's the grandbaby Gabby. And wait a minute, what is the boy doing here? Okay, let me break this down a little bit for you, just so you can understand why Mrs. Bernice is looking at this young man like that. So, Mrs. Bernice specifically told her children only to bring family members that are related by blood. And here comes her oldest with the grandbaby Gabby and her boyfriend Brandon. Of course, Grant says nothing as he watches his wife berate their children and grandchildren. Long story short, the reason why Mrs. Bernice has an issue with this boy is because Brandon is actually Chase's illegitimate son who was married to her middle daughter, Dina. Mrs. Bernice does not want the boy in the picture, and Claire tries to explain to her mom that he is just there to pick up his siblings. And since he is dating their daughter, Gabby, then it would only be right for him to come along with the family. Speaking of, here comes Dina now. Dina is, I guess, Chase's ex wife. Then there's Billy, Willie, and Jasper. A lot of times, Dina will keep Jasper because Billy and Jasper are ghetto twins, basically born like 6 months apart. Jasper is actually Chase's break baby when Dina and him have broken up. So that's why Mrs. Bernice is looking at them like that. The children are unaware of the adult affairs at hand, and they just simply run over to Brandon to give him hugs. Brandon is Chase's son, who he didn't know he had. So Chase is actually Dina's ex-husband and the father of her children, Willie and Billy, who pictured here. And Jasper is one of his break babies that he had with Dina. On Dina, I mean. Brandon has been raised as an only child, and now that he's in college, he treats his siblings like they are gold, and it makes the women swoon looking at how gentle he is with them. Grant tries to reason with Bernice and shows how well Brandon takes care of his siblings while the photographer gets set up for their pictures. Grant finally gets his wife Bernice to calm down, and the children are beckoned to come over for the photos. Dina has already explained to Jasper that she won't be in this photo, but they will be taking photos later on for Mother's Day where she will be included along with Brandon. Jasper could care less about not being included in this photo shoot. She is just so happy to see her big brother and is excited about going out on a outing to maybe a park or get ice cream. He always surprises her with all these wonderful places to go. The photographer is ready to take the photo shoot in and realizes there is someone missing. There are actually a couple of people missing. Oh, and here they come right now. It's Alan, Bernice and Grant's youngest son, and his wife Marisol, and their son AJ, also known as Alan Jr. Mrs. Bernice can't understand why she gave all of her children an hour early time to be there and they're still late. The photographer asks the rest of the family to step out of the scene because he has to do a commercial video. And he notices that Claire is looking at him funny. And so he decides maybe he'll ask her out after the photo shoot. The photographer goes over how he wants the video shoot to go along with the photo shoot. And Bernice agrees. Would you like to see the video commercial they made? Of course you would. Quiet on the set. The photographer was so good at his job, he even had toys that made noises to attract the children's attention to get the perfect photo of everyone looking in the same direction. The photographer even caught some candid photos of Jasper and Brandon playing on the sidelines while they waited for the rest of the family. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see the rest of the photos that the Hill family took on this photo shoot. Bernice loves her grandchildren dearly and always makes time to have funny, silly time with them. While the family's thumb drive is being prepared by the photographer, Gabriella goes over and sits with her boyfriend Brandon while their grandchildren play around them. AJ doesn't understand that Brandon is not his brother too, and he has to go along with them when they go on their outing. So of course they all agree, and the children give their mothers and fathers a hug. Alan and Marisol tell their son, AJ, to be on his best behavior while hanging with Brandon and Gabriella. While all this is going on all around with hugs and kisses with everyone, Miss Bernice doesn't take her eyes off of Brandon. When everyone sees Mrs. Bernice walk over to Brandon to have a conversation quietly, they all hold their breath in anticipation. What is she going to say to him? Mrs. Bernice makes sure to speak softly as she holds Brandon by the arm so no one else can hear what she's saying. Without so much as a word, Brandon and Gabriella leave with Billy, Willie, Jasper, and AJ to go get some ice cream at the local ice cream parlor. While the siblings all gather together to give 121 questions to Dina about the situationship with her ex-husband slash boyfriend Chase, Grant leaves over to his wife Bernice and gives her a kiss on the forehead, praising her for her good behavior today. When Grant asks Bernice what she said to Brandon, Bernice simply grins an evil grin and says, I told him if anything should happen to any of my grandchildren, that I would show him why my favorite hobby is guns and ammunition. Bernice laughs and yells, "Just kidding." If you've made it this far in the video, please give me a thumbs up below and also enjoy the photos. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have enjoyed the video today, please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you here next time on At Mama Bear Jenny Dolls.